Hello and welcome to my weekly Roundup. My guest on the Small Business Big Network podcast this week is James Church from Robot Mascot. He likes to be invited to speak at events as that enables him to grow his network even more. On Tuesday morning, I joined David O'Brien's weekly Net for Biz meeting, where we talked about what motivates us as business owners. In my breakout room, we all agreed that actually we don't think we could go back to being employed by someone else, so better keep our businesses going. The rest of Tuesday was spent with some of my colleagues from the local branch of Equity. We had a day trip to Whitby and we had a day pottering around the town, followed by an evening at the Esk Valley Theatre. If you've never heard of it, I can highly recommend a visit. For the month of August, the theatre company take over the Robinson Institute in Glaisdale and they put on a really good show. This year's play is called Deals and Deception and has been written by one of the actors, who is also one of our branch members. We thoroughly enjoyed it. On Wednesday, I had a great catch-up with Brian Lingard from the Web Guys. We met through networking a few years ago and hadn't spoken since before the pandemic, so it was good to hear that his business has gone from strength to strength since we last met. Yesterday morning, I attended a session on 7 essential business skills run by David O'Brien and Michael Hardy from the Consulting Room. I've been to a number of their sessions before, so I'd heard a lot of what they talked about in the past, but it's always good to be reminded of what you should be doing. In case you're wondering, the 7 skills, according to David and Michael, are language, listening, focus, context, decision-making, networking and performance. And if you want to know what all of that actually means, then I recommend looking out for any future sessions that they might be running. At lunchtime yesterday, I logged into LinkedIn to see a presentation by Nikki Thomas and James Marriott, who've just launched their new podcast. It's called Every Day's a Business School Day, and it sounds like it's going to be very useful for small business owners. As Nikki explained during the presentation, hardly anybody goes to business school before they set up a small business, and there's a lot to learn. So they want to help people learn the skills they need to be successful. This weekend, my son starts 3 weeks of leave from the army, so I've got to adjust having an extra person to cook for again. I think he can pay me back in ironing, as he ought to be able to do it better than me now. Have a great weekend and join me again next week for another Roundup.